Hi there, folks. Got a bit of a treat for you this evening. I'm gonna call it a mud fossil lucky dip. So what I'm gonna do is just get my hand and rummage around in my desk here where I piled up a load of them and see what I come out with, pull up, and I'll do a quick video on them. So yeah, I'm just back from work. I let the cat out. And yeah, so yeah, what I've done is, just to make it a bit more interesting, got a few mud fossils that you probably haven't seen yet of mine. Um, Excuse me, or light a cigarette while I do this. Just need to relax a little bit after work. A nice cup of coffee and a cigarette. I don't smoke much as a rule, but like 3 or 4 a day. As well as doing fitness, looking after my diet as well, but I do like the old cigarette. Right, let's see what we got. First of all, here we go. I've got this. And what do we have here? Seems to be an owl. Yeah, I would say that is the mud fossil of an owl. I remember when I found this when the tide was out among all the stones, and what attracted me to it was it was lying in the mud like that, but I could see the jagged bit. When you see these kind of like right angles and jagged bits, you know they might well be something, because they don't happen naturally like that often. So anyway, I took it home with me. It was covered in seaweed and green algae and stuff, and I cleaned it up, and this is what I found. And I'll show you why I think it's an owl here. It has a round head, like a barn owl, with the indentation where the eye is, and there's the eye, and here is the protruding beak. And this is where the other eye would be, but this eye is more obvious. So put that a wee bit closer to the camera. So there we have the eye of the owl and the beak coming down there, and the round head. So it's quite a nice example, that of a mud fossil of an owl. Let's see what I can bring out next. What do I have here? I have a snake. Mud fossil of a snake. Here we have the body. It's been broken here, obviously when it turned into a mud fossil when it was petrified. And here you have the mouth area, what was once the mouth, and the eye of the snake. And here is its body. This is it underneath. Has the kind of like, you can see the shape of the head there of the snake. And I believe they could be nostrils on top, but I'm not sure. So there we go, a little snake. What should we have next? I have this, and I found this in the river as well. And I think this was the head of a crocodile, a small crocodile again. There must have been plenty of them in the UK pre-flood. Here is the outline of some teeth and a jaw, and there's the eye. Neck bone protruding out here. the bulbous bit where the eyes were, and one there. Show you the eye bit there. So there's the bulbous bit, the eye coming around the front of the mouth, and the jaw area. You can even see some jagged teeth.
What time did you leave? At around. Sorry, could you let your wife answer, please?
I'll show it from this side, and there you can see a remnant of an eye there. What else have we got? I know there's one item in here. I'm going to save that till last.
Do you know where she is now? Is she
Ah, what have we got here? We've got this creature here. Now,
We need to talk.
this looks like it may have been a bird of some kind. There's the neck area.
She's not suspected.
There's the eye and the eyeball area,
She's a potential
and the
witness.
protruding beak area.
To report her as missing.
This is the other side of it. So its head has been sort of split right down the middle when it was petrified.
We're going to need a recent photograph of the
So quite clearly see the eye there, and its neck
Do you have one?
and beak.
I've got some upstairs.
And I remember when I first found this and I cleaned it up, I thought it was some sort of creature that came down like that, and that was its chin, but I now believe it was a bird of some sort. Next we have this, and I don't know what this could be. It could be a fish of some sort. It's the outline of a fish maybe, or something else. It's quite interesting. That could be an eye, I don't know, but maybe the part of a fish or some other creature. You can see an outline of an eye there. It's quite an interesting piece.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I'll go with
So,
some sort of tropical fish kind of thing, with the mouth coming there and the eye and the fin coming up. What have we got here? Oh, we've got this creature here. There's the ear of it, whatever it is. The head, the eye, the head coming down, and the mouth area around here. Let me see it again. You can just make out the eye there. And this was where its teeth were, probably a fang at one time before it was fossilised. And a nice ear shape coming up there. I'll show you the other side of it. Find out a lot with mud fossils. You get one really good side. There's the eye again, and the fang, and its ear. You twist it, you can make out the iris. It's like almost a slitted iris. Playing in the light there. And what do I have next? Ooh. I don't know if this is a mud fossil, but I believe it's an effigy of a pregnant woman. Maybe an effigy made to as an offering to the gods or the elemental spirits to ensure a good childbirth or pregnancy. As you can see, there seems to have two female breasts there and a pregnant belly. So, and that's the underside of it. So I believe this may have been a token given to the gods who they may have believed in at that time. Right, for a good pregnancy. Here we have a piece of petrified wood. I'll hold this up to the camera and you can see, very clearly see that it was once wood. But I think it was a wooden knife or something, or it may have been a piece of petrified wood that man has shaped into a knife. It's very, very sharp. You can actually cut with that. And it's been shaped like a knife with the blade under here and the flat part here. And that's that side of it, and that is that side of it. And you can see the grain in the wood, but it's totally stone now. You can still use that today to cut things with, which must have been a very useful tool after the flood, or before the flood. And I found this very interesting looking thing. I may have shown this one before, but I believe it was made as a wand by the pre-flood people. It's a piece of flint with a flat edge there, and that's the flint on that side. But this is really interesting the way they've carved these patterns into it, almost like lightning going through. Well, that could be a pattern of a fish actually. There's the back tail of the fish, the body, and the fin there. Yeah, it looks like a shark. There's the mouth of the shark, there's the eye, there's the fin, and the tail coming back. So this was made by the people, and it's got a very sharp chisel edge here. So that may have been used as a tool to chisel things out with, or for hunting. I like this. And what have we got next? Ooh. Got this. This is a really nice piece of flint, and I believe it's a mud fossil of a fish. There's the eye of it, and there's the nose of the fish coming round underneath. It's quite long. That's the end of it. So obviously the fish has been cut in half, but you can quite clearly make out the eye there and the general shape of the fish. I'll show you the other side of it. It has all this stuff in it, which is part of the inner body of the fish. There's the eye. This poor creature was swimming along minding its own business, and suddenly whap. I think they must have been petrified pretty quickly because they didn't have time to rot. You know, there's no rotting going on there. These things petrified whole. What else have we got here? Ooh. Got this thing here, which is quite interesting. Some sort of a ear going on up there, and coming down here. May have been a rodent of some sort. I'll show you the other side of it. There we go. There's potentially an eye there and another ear coming down. Yeah, there's the eye. You can quite clearly make out an ear there. But it's been obviously crushed and flattened and was petrified instantly after it was crushed. I'll show you again the other side. Oh, there we go, there's an eye, an ear. This is quite interesting because I found this down at the river as well, and I think it was used as a stone tool at one time. This was probably very sharp at one time, and it's all broken now due to use. But I think it was a ceremonial hand axe. You have the flat edge there for holding, and that would have been for cutting, and that for sort of moving like a saw movement. But what's interesting is these unique engravings on it. As you can see there are people, and there are people in a ring. There's the main one, that's its legs sort of spread and bent in like that, and its feet there. And they're all holding hands in a ring, and there's two more behind them. Another one there, and another one there, and somebody there. And they're all in a ring. And what I found amazing about this, I think it was a ceremonial thing, because look, I don't mean to be rude here, but if you get a magnifying glass and you can see here, this person has an erection, basically. I don't like to be rude on camera like that, but that's what it has. This was some form of ceremonial hand axe with all these engravings on it. So I'll let you get a closer look at that. And see what we got next. Only a few more to go. So please excuse the background noise. Right, what we got here? Oh, here we go. Got this creature here, which I believe may have been a frog or something, you know. There's the eye of it, and it's been petrified into that, or it may have been a fish or something.
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, if it was a fish, there's an eye up there, but it was definitely something or other. But I think it was also used as a tool for crushing. This has all been beaten here, and it has a flat end, which may have been used for pulverizing seeds or something like that for pre or post flood people. But at one time I believe it may have been a toad or a frog. There's the eye, and it's just that's underneath of the chin, and that's where its back leg was, and the eye. And I have one more, and I've saved what I consider the best one for last.
I lost the money.
And here it is. It is a
I'm sorry I left you.
mud fossil of a monkey, of a small primate. This is a real beaut. Here we have the some sort of thing it's got on its head. It may have been a hat or something, you know. Maybe they kept monkeys as pets. There's something on its head like a crown or a hat. And here you see the ridge, the brow ridge, the ear of the creature, the eye of the creature, the nose of the creature, coming down to the chin and mouth area here, and the neck. I'll hold that a bit closer, but it's only half the face is existing still. The rest of it was all crushed into the rock and crushed and pulverized, so the only part of the face that survived was this. But I believe the post-flood people found this, and they may be flattened up the end of it. They saw the face of the monkey on it and thought that would make a really nice tool, so they flattened off the end of it, and they've made that into a sharp, very sharp point, which could have been used as a hand axe, and they would have used the eye to get some grip. But I'll let you have another good look at that creature. Again, I'll just go through it again. The ear, the brow ridge, the nose, mouth and chin area, the neck, and the eye. I'll let you have a look at that for a minute. Right. So there we go. So we've got monkey, fish with the eye, a knife made out of what was once wood and is now petrified, a wand with a chisel end. This may have been used as a ceremonial item by these people. As you can see, it's been really nicely carved. Oh, that's right, it had the shark on it carved into it. The mouth, the head area, the eye of the shark, the fin, and the tail. It's a really nice piece of carving. The ceremonial pregnancy stone. The potential rodent or whatever it might have been. with the ear, the head coming down, and the fang,
I was pleased.
and oh yeah, the eye up here with the pupil. You can quite clearly see a slitted pupil. And this potential creature with the ear and the eye, the pointed face coming down. And the bird with the eye. The croc head with its jagged jaw, jagged teeth, and the neck bone in the neck area. The eyes, the bulbous eyes, and the kind of brow ridge they have. The wee snake with its body broken here, and there's its eye and its mouth area. This thing that I consider might have been a tropical fish of some sort.
Did you encourage him to
The ceremonial engraved hand axe with the phallic imagery on it, and the people holding hands in a circle, and the legs, there's the knees and the feet. And whatever this was, the nose and the eye area and the head coming back here, the chin coming underneath, and maybe that's where the mouth was. You can make out an eye there and the nose. And last but not least, the owl. There's the beak, the eye, the round face of the owl, and even some colouring on it. And what would have been the other eye, but again it was crushed against the rock, so you're only going to get, like I said, with these mud fossils, sometimes half the face. Well, I didn't bore you too much, so I'd make a bit of a longer video for you guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.